Still, more. I'm saying Gabe has no chill at all.
Did you see his tweet last night?
No.
Fuck all you motherfuckers. I went to Alaska and he sold out the whole state. Like, I
bet.
Even the fishing poles. They just had fishing poles. Everybody left. That show, what's the boat? The boat was docked. What's the Alaska show? He sold over.
I believe it.
Yeah, he tweeted it last night. Comics are missing out.
But he never slows down. Gabe goes hard, man. Gabe goes hard. And obviously it works. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm just saying, like, that dude.
I remember, he started at an age with no Twitter.
Yeah. And built that following.
Listen, I'm a Twitter, Facebook guy.
10,000.
10,000 in Alaska?
Yeah.
Fuck, man. That's crazy.
What guy, you look at these old bands. Like I told Lee one time about Aerosmith. Take Aerosmith, for example. Do you know how hard it was to break out of Boston? You had the Boston Celtics.
Right. Yeah.
You had the Boston Bruins. The Red Sox were gods then, right? They were dick. But you had the Celtics and whatever. You got 2 tickets for the Celtics, or you want to see 5 guys with long hair.
Yeah.
And that's when they had Havlicek, JoJo,
Yeah.
fucking Russell, that whole fucking dynasty. How does a band bust out without social media?
It's crazy.
Gabriel, Sebastian.
Gabriel, by the way, also, like, I'm playing some big venues now, and sometimes, there's like artwork in the hallways. I keep texting him. Like, I'll see in the hallway, like, Gabriel Iglesias, then I'll look at the date of, like, I'm saying a pretty big theater, 2,500, and it'll be like 2010. And I'm like, dude, you were doing this venue in 2010? He's like, yeah, I think I did it first in like 2008 or something. Like, God damn. I didn't realize how long he's been, moving that many tickets. It's a long time, man. To maintain that for a decade is a big deal. It's a big deal.
I still remember him booking the Bicycle Club.
Gabe?
$35 on Thursday nights, and you had to get paid on Friday. You had to go back on Friday and get your money in the heat of traffic off the 710.
Jesus.
There was times you just said, keep the $35. I still remember when he lost his virginity on the plane, like the one down. In those days, Rudy Moreno booked Wednesday in Tucson called Bugsy's. And you'd fly down every Wednesday, 3 comics, $1.50 a piece. You got a hotel room, and you got like $600 in food, because the guy weighed 800 pounds that booked the thing. He had a lump on his fucking neck. It was tremendous. He'd take you to the best Mexican places. But then they introduced a show named K Locos.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
And he blew up on that. Him and George Lopez helped him. I don't know the whole story, but he's been rocking it since then.
Dude, it's really impressive if you just want to study, being a successful stand-up. What he's done it really is remarkable. To build that following before that social media, like build it off of like those shows and Comedy Central stuff, and like just have that loyal of a following and make it grow he does arenas and amphitheaters and shit now. So it's like it's gone the other way.
It was a couple weeks ago, but he was like, I remember coming to this city when I got 30 people at the club, and I think it was like 20,000. He's like, there was 20 people at the club, and now I did 20,000. That's pretty cool.
Do you see? I mean, his special, he shot it in Houston where the Rockets play.
Yeah,
and he sold out 2 shows there. You know what I mean? Like back to back, 18,000 seat or whatever it is, 20 shows. I mean, that's 40,000 people in a night. It's really fucking crazy, man.
When you study it, dog, I'll tell you who I give props to. I had a conversation with him one night, and this is exactly how the conversation went. It was in '98 when Houston was the hottest club in the country.
Yeah.
And I was walking into the Laugh Factory, and who's walking in but Dane Cook.
Yeah.
And I go, Dane, how is Houston? And he looked at me and he goes, it's a great club. Just too many nights. I got to figure out how to condense my nights. And next thing you know, he was at that bar every Tuesdays, and they were just there to see him. In those days, they didn't want to see anybody else. I don't give a fuck what anybody tells you.
Yeah.
Everybody went there to bomb.
To Dublin's or?
Dublin's.
Yeah.
early at Dublin's, you just went there to bomb. I still remember watching 3, 4 comics bomb. I ate a bag of dicks, and I said, there's no reason to go back there again.
Man, he would just torch the room.
He would destroy them. It would just be,
dude,
amazing to watch.
I had him on last week on a podcast, and we were talking about that, and I was trying to tell the listening and viewing audience, like, because I used to go to those shows. I didn't get on. I remember asking I gave Jay Davis a VHS. I was like, he was like, yeah, like looking past me. He was like, sure, man, like talking like to other people. I was like, fuck. But I gave him my VHS tape, and I sat through a few of those shows. Dane, like the fucking walls would shake. I remember sitting there and being like, what in the fuck, man? Like, it was so destructive. It might be like the hardest I've ever seen anybody
No,
kill.
I was there. I saw it, and it's not that you were jealous, it's that you were defeated. You didn't want to go back. Like, you're like, there's no reason to come here. I already know this is Dane's room. I'm not going to ever repeat this.
I did an East LA room one time where I bombed like that. I was like, shit. It was like all Mexicans and all Mexican comics. And I went up there like 2-3 years in, just ate shit. I was trying to do crowd work, and I was like, hey, what do you think about this? Someone goes, who cares? I was like,
oh, yeah, in those days.
And then I got off stage, and the guy hosted was like, damn, like that was wild how bad he did. Like, he was talking about it. And then I was like sitting backstage. I was like, fuck. And then I go, hey, man, so can I come back, you know, like maybe in a month or something? He was like, you'll come back here? Like, in front of everyone. He was like, he said he'll come back here. I was like, God damn, because I ate shit so hard. I never went back, but you know, I was asking for it.
So I met you in '98.
No, after that, no, I wasn't even out here then.
When did you start comedy?
2002.
2002 was when you started.
Yeah.
And when did Rogan go on the tour that you opened for?
2007.
That Man tour.
Yep.
And you were already in Ohio.
No, I was out here. I was living out here.
Okay.
Yeah, and I opened for him on that, and then I really fucking I met you the night before he shot a special in Columbus, because I remember he invited me out, Ari, and then he was like, "Oh, Diaz couldn't make it, so Diaz is coming on another flight." Diaz walks into the hotel in his tracksuit. He was like, "Dog, I gotta tell you something. This fucking asshole on the flight." He's like, "I almost got arrested today." And he fucking said that he was on a flight and that it was first class, and they put his food down, and the guy in front of him leaned back. So Joey shoved his seat. and the guy leaned back again. He goes, "Hey, like, you're fucking leaning on my food, man." So the guy did it again. So Joey stood up and went around and stood above the guy, and the guy was like, "Hey, man, I'm just like leaning back." He goes, "You're leaning back on my food." And the guy like went to adjust or like stand up, and Joey put his hand on his shoulder and was like, you don't got to do nothing right now. Just sit here, sit straight. And then when you got off the flight, you said there was 2 Columbus PD officers on the jet bridge, and they were like, "Jose Diaz." And you're like, "And I got this weed under my nuts."
I did. You really fucking did.
And then, and this is, by the way, this is me meeting him. I don't know anything about him. I was like, oh shit.
We're going in like fucking Marines. You understand me?
Welcome to church, motherfucker.